Good afternoon, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Just a gentle reminder before we begin our service to ask everyone to please silence their cell phones. We have passed out, for the conclusion of the service, we are going to be doing Havdalah. We have run out of these, so can I get a show of hands? If you do not have one of these, can you just raise your hand, please? Okay, not bad. All right. Folks, if you can just share with those people. Oh, this whole section over here doesn't have any. Okay, all right. We are going to begin our service with the singing of Hine Matov, which you may find on the top of page 10. Words are, and you'll repeat after me, please. Hine Matov, Umanayim, Shevet Achim, Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. Now you're going to need your hands for this song, so if you guys will close your prayer books. And we ask you not to place them on the floor. There's slots actually underneath each one of your chairs, but you can feel free to keep them on your laps. And Cantor Kathy is going to teach you the song.
Okay. We're going to get a little bit of a rhythm going first, which is why you need your hands. Put your hands on your legs. And if you have a little white piece of paper, you can just stick it in your fur book. You're not going to need those for a long time. Just a couple hours.
Right.
Let's start out with some things you already know.
This time, I would like to invite up to the pulpit Fox's grandparents, Melvin and Elaine Schreiber, and Ronald and Sharon Bate, for the Tali presentation.
All of us, you grandparents, are so happy and proud to be here today on this wonderful occasion and to present you with this beautiful tummy.
Made in Israel.
He's going to do the blessing first.
Okay. Sure.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen.
Made in Israel, Fox. Easy wishy.
Mazel tov, everybody. We now continue on page 86.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. O Adonai our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel.
Baruch
Atah Adonai, Hamamed Torah Le'amo Yisrael. We continue on page 88. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Please turn to page 220. Ashrei Yoshvei Vetecha, Od Yehalelucha Selah, Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo, Ashrei Ha'am She'adonai Elohav. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they forever praise you. Happy the people who have it so. Happy the people whose God is Adonai. We continue on page 224 with the Reader's Kaddish.
Yikada v'yikada shmerava ve'amad ivrach yute v'yamlik mahute b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayeni kol bet Yisrael bagala uv'yizman karim v'imeru amen. Yehi shmera v'mevorach ve'alam u'amei hamaya yitbarach yishtarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei lekudusha b'rehu Le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damira b'yama v'imeru amen.
We continue on page 227. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. Please rise. We continue with the tefillah on pages 226, 228, and 230.
Adonai sifatai v'yagita gilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hachol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor le'lam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav v'hoshia, Mechalkel hayim b'chesed, Mechaye hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somek noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech menid, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah la'achayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good and not evil.
You are the source of life and blessing.
Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling.
Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom.
Help us to free the captive.
You are our hope in death as in life.
Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting.
Help us to use our strength for good,
Together,
for blessing and not for curse, for life and not death, for abundance not want. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
we continue on page 232 with the Kedusha. Let us sanctify your name on earth as it is sanctified in the heavens above, as it is written by your prophet. Holy, holy, holy is Adonai Tzivaot. God's presence fills the whole earth.
Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kashem shemakdishim oto b'shnei marom, rakatu layad v'yecha, v'karasel el zeh le'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Melech haaretz, Kevodo.
be seated. We continue on page 235. For the good in us which calls us to a better life.
We give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and hands.
We give praise.
For the peace in us which leads us to work for peace.
We are grateful.
For the gift of Shabbat which renews us for life.
We offer blessing. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
We join together on the top of page 239. Together,
For the
gift
gift
of our souls, the promise of our lives, for all we are and all we might yet become, for the creative seed sown within our minds, whose nurturing can yield a grand harvest. For all these gifts we thank you, O God, and pray that we prove ourselves worthy. May our lives be ripe with the fruit of compassion, sweetly sustaining those in need. May we use our gifts wisely and with love, to be messengers of blessing to the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ucha Na'el Lehodot.
Shalom Ra'am Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Shalom Ra'am Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Ki atahu nechado lecho hashalom. Shalom Ra'am Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Shalom Ra'am Yisrael Amcha Tasih Le'olam. Tasih Le'olam. Tasih Le'olam.
We pray silently.
We continue in the middle of page 242. Yehi ratzon imrefi, Yehi ratzon imrefi, v'kyo libi lefanecha. Adonai tzvi v'go'ali.
In the book of Deuteronomy, we find the words Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha kehilat Yaakov. And these words teach us the idea that Torah is something that is inherited by successive generations. And in the Talmud, the Jewish book of law and legend, in a section known as Pirkei Avot, the sayings of the fathers, Pirkei Avot opens with a very lengthy phrase that says, Moses received the Torah at Sinai. He handed it on to Joshua. From Joshua it was given to the elders. The elders in turn gave it to the prophets. The prophets gave it to the men of the great assembly. And from there it was given to all Israel. And so once again in the Talmud we see this idea that Torah is passed from generation to generation to generation. In just a few moments we are going to take the Torah out of the ark and we are going to physically pass it through the generations of Fox's family, Gesundheit. And what this symbolizes is that he is the latest link in a chain of tradition that goes back to the days of Moses and Sinai. And so now I'd invite all of you to turn in your prayer books to our Torah service on page 245. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, and to observe faithfully the words of this Torah. And let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. Together, happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding, for its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies. No treasure can match it. At this time, I'd like to invite up to the bima Fox's grandparents, Melvin and Elaine, and Ronald and Sharon, and his parents, David and Allison, and ask all of you to please rise. In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Together, its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all the treasure. We continue with the Shema on the top of 240.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shema. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
As part of becoming a bar mitzvah, I take on the responsibilities of being a Jew. This afternoon, I would like to share with you what those responsibilities are, how I have begun fulfilling them, and how I plan on continuing to meet them throughout my life. The first responsibility is lifelong Torah study. Lifelong Torah study means to be able to interpret the Torah and understand how Jewish learning relates to me and my life. As part of becoming a bar mitzvah, I learned how to chant in Hebrew from the Torah. I was given a Torah portion, which is a reading from one of the 5 books of Moses. The Torah portion for this Shabbat is known as Shalach Lecha. It comes from the book of Numbers, chapters 13, verse 1 to chapter 15, verse 41. Shalach Lecha is set after the Israelites escaped slavery in Egypt and are exploring the land that they plan to settle in. There are 4 main characters in the story: Moses, God, Joshua, and Caleb. Joshua and Caleb are 2 of the 12 scouts Moses sends to the land of Canaan. Each scout represents one of the tribes of Israel. They are sent to scout the land and spy on the people to see what kind of a country it is. When they return, 10 out of the 12 scouts come back with a negative review, saying that the land is inhabited by giants and that they have no chance of conquering it. As stated in Numbers, chapter 13, verse 33, "We looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must have to them." The other 2 scouts, Joshua and Caleb, come back and say that the land is flowing with milk and honey, and with the help of God, they can conquer it. The Israelites agree with the 10 scouts and not with Joshua and Caleb. The people say that they have no chance of taking the land and that they should just stay in the wilderness. God becomes angry with the 10 non-believers for not having faith in God after all that was done to lead them out of Egypt. God says, "How long will these people provoke me? How much longer will they not believe in me after all the signs I have performed in their midst?" God punishes them and the rest of the Israelites and forces them to wander for 40 years, ensuring that all of the generation except Caleb and Joshua would die before entering the land. The new generation is sent on the same task, and all 12 scouts come back with Joshua and Caleb's belief that they can conquer the land. There are some important lessons taught in my Torah portion. One such lesson is that if you believe you can do something, you can do it. My portion also teaches us that the way you view yourself is most likely the way other people will view you. This means, for example, that you must first have self-confidence if you want to inspire confidence in others. Sometimes we will face big obstacles as individuals or as a group, and we must believe in ourselves no matter what is blocking our way. For example, my soccer club, FC USA, likes to challenge us. They believe that in order to get better, we must challenge ourselves and push ourselves to the limit. Many times, this means playing against teams who are older, bigger, and better than us. At times, this can be very frustrating, and sometimes it was hard to take the field when I felt like we were little grasshoppers compared to our opponents. But I learned from many of these experiences that going into a game thinking you are going to lose pretty much ensures that you will. I learned, though, that there is no game you can't win, and you must believe in yourself, your hard work, and your preparation if you want to succeed. I have also learned that confidence can be contagious. Sometimes, when a game is not going well, all it takes is one strong run with the ball to raise the confidence and play of the whole team. In games like these, I especially strive to step up as a leader. Certainly, we have lost many games, and having confidence is not the only thing necessary to win, but I have learned that having faith and confidence is absolutely necessary to succeed, and sometimes, even when it is really difficult, someone on my team must step up, and it might as well be me. It is like a quote that I learned in religious school. In a place where there are no men, be a man. Another responsibility of becoming a bar mitzvah is observing Shabbat, celebrating Jewish holidays and life cycle events, like a bar mitzvah celebration, and preparing in the life of the Jewish community. My favorite Jewish holiday is Passover because I like the food, and I also like the retelling the story of Passover with my family at our Seder. My dad usually leads the Seder, and we take turns reading around the table. I also like the food at Passover, especially matzo ball soup. Everyone loves matzo balls, which are like dumplings. I really appreciate when we have them because the ones we eat are made special just for me. Traditional matzo balls are held together with egg, but I'm allergic to egg, so my parents and grandparents have had to try different recipes to come up with one where they don't fall apart. Now everyone eats my matzo balls, which is great, even if it means less for me. One of the most memorable Jewish moments in my life was my brother's bar mitzvah. I felt very proud because my whole family worked hard to make it as great and memorable as possible. We have lots of out-of-town family that traveled thousands of miles for his bar mitzvah, and it was fun for everyone to be together for the weekend. Community is also a very important value in Jewish life. That means being involved with Or Hadash, the people who are part of our congregation, and Jews in Israel and all over the world. It also means understanding that each one of us is important to keeping the community going. The reason I chose to invite my entire class to my service and celebration is because they have helped me with my learning for the past years and also made going to Hebrew school something I looked forward to. At Or Hadash, rather than exchange gifts with one another for each of our celebrations, our class gives a gift to the congregation. Some of the gifts given in the past have been the basketball hoop, the Torah commentaries, the benches, the patio, the shed, and the stained glass window. I look forward to being a part of my class's gift because I will see something new at the synagogue and know that I contributed to the purchase of it. I am also looking forward to visiting Israel one day because I have learned a lot about it, such as the facts about the wildlife, and I would be interested in being able to see the many extraordinary places and things in real life. For example, my Torah portion talks about the spies returning from Israel with bunches of grapes that were so big they required 2 people to carry them with sticks. I thought it was just exaggeration, but Rabbi Foreman showed me some pictures of enormous grape bunches. Even though I don't really like grapes, I think I'd try one anyway. Judaism teaches us that we are all responsible for helping to repair whatever needs fixing in our world. This is called tikkun olam, repairing the world. One of the greatest challenges our country is facing is poverty. One thing I would do to solve this problem is help feed as many hungry people as I can. In preparation for this day, I completed a mitzvah project, my way of doing tikkun olam. My mitzvah project was helping feed people who were hungry. I chose this project because everybody deserves to be able to eat a meal every day. There have been times where, because of my food allergies, I have to watch while others around me are eating. This is frustrating when it is only just a short time, so I can't imagine how difficult it might be watching others eat all the time and not knowing when the next meal will come. With my parents' help, I contacted a number of different agencies that work to collect food for the needy. However, there was not much that I could do with most of these that made me feel like I really contributed. Finally, my family volunteered to help prepare and deliver a meal and share it with several homeless families through the Interfaith Hospitality Network. I helped my mom prepare fruit and vegetable platters and bake cookies and Rice Krispie treats. That way, we knew they were safe for me to eat too. Then I went with my dad to the Flemington Presbyterian Church, where with another family from Or Hadash, we set up the food to feed 4 homeless families. Another family from Or Hadash spends the night at the church and makes sure the families are okay. Each family had a single mom with a child or children. There were 9 kids total, ranging from 1 to 15 years old. We ate together and stayed for several hours. I created a bowling game with a couple of the boys with different toys that have been donated. I really did not know what to expect, and I was very nervous when we got to the church. But as soon as we were finished and we got to our car, I told my dad how rewarding it was and that I wanted to do it again. I was surprised at how happy the families appeared to be, especially the kids, even though they didn't have any of the stuff that I have gotten used to, like new sports equipment or video games. I didn't feel comfortable asking them, but I think they are able to really appreciate the things we take for granted, like a good meal and people to talk to and play with. I told my dad that I wanted to host dinner again and that I was willing to be part of the overnight crew. We contacted the people at Family Promise through the Interfaith Hospitality Network and are signed up to assist in the coming weeks. Learning everything I needed to for my bar mitzvah was challenging. I was not able to go to as many meetings as I would have liked to with Ken or Kathy or Rabbi Joe because of after-school activities, and therefore I had to work a lot at home. Normally, when I come home from school, I like to relax and watch YouTube or play outside. At times, it seemed like a mountain of work that would never be complete. Like Joshua and Caleb, I learned that I had to have faith in myself to get everything done. I had to motivate myself and tell myself that I could do it and that it wasn't impossible to finish everything. You will soon hear about my Haftorah project, which was to make tassels, or tzitzit. The tzitzit are supposed to serve as a reminder to obey God's commandments, but for me, they also have been a reminder of Shalach Lecha and the confidence that I needed to take on the challenge and the responsibility of becoming a bar mitzvah. It has certainly been the biggest thing I have taken on so far. I'm sure that as I enter into adulthood, I will be faced with even greater challenges. Now, as a bar mitzvah, I can look at the tzitzi and be reminded to have faith and confidence in myself. And I can also recognize that, like the message of Joshua to the Israelites, when I do, I can accomplish whatever I set out to do.
When we read from the Torah, it is customary to invite members of the family up for the honor of the Aliyah. And so for the first Aliyah, we call to the Torah Fox's grandparents, Melvin and Elaine Schreiber, and Ronald and Sharon Bain.
O God of all humanity, we lift
Our voices in gratitude that the Torah has come
to the world
to
through
the
the
Jewish people. We lift our voices in gratitude for the ideals it teaches: justice, compassion, devotion, the partnership of mind, heart, and deed. We lift our voices in gratitude that our grandson takes his place among the Jewish people of Israel. We pray that he will do so with pride and joy. As you call Israel to be a light to the nations, so too we pray that our grandson will be his own ray of light to the world.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chabanu mikol ha'olamim, ve'nata lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayashuvu mitor haaretz miketz arba'im yom. Vayalchu vayavo el Moshe ve'el Aharon ve'el kol adat b'nei Yisrael el midbar paran kadesha vayashivu otam davar ve'et kol ha'eda vayar'um et peri haaretz.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nata lanu Torah emet, v'she'il le'olam nata b'chacheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. That's a great speech. I agree, but that was a great speech for a 13-year-old. Not even 13.
For the honor of the second Aliyah, we call to the Torah Fox's uncles and aunts, Sean Bain, Gretchen Bain, and John Hill, Amy and Mark Thompson, Jonathan Bain and Kimberly Bolster, Eric Schreiber and Eric Pfeiffer, Nina Schreiber and Tony Long.
So, me and I don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
O God of all humanity, we lift our voices in gratitude that the Torah has come to the world to the Jewish people. We lift our voices in gratitude for the ideals it teaches: justice, compassion, devotion, the partnership of mind, heart, and deed. We lift our voices in gratitude that our nephew takes place among the people of Israel. We pray that he will do so with pride and joy. As you call Israel to be a light to the nations, so too we pray that our nephew will be his own ray of light to the world.
Baruch Adonai Habarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Vayisapru lo, vayomeru, vanu el haaretz asher shelachtanu, v'gam zavat chalav udvash hi v'zeh piryah. Efes ki az ha'am hayoshev ba'aretz v'he'arim b'tzurot gedolot me'od v'gam yelidei ha'anak ra'inu sham.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
For the honor of the third Aliyah, we call to the Torah Fox's brother Bowie.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Amalek Yoshev be'eretz ha'negev v'hachiti v'haivusi v'ha'emori Yoshev bahar v'haknaani Yoshev al hayam ve'al yad hayarden vayahas kalev et ha'am el Moshe vayomer alo na'ale vayarashnu ota ki yachol nuchal la.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
For the honor of the fourth Aliyah, we call to the Torah Fox's parents, David Schreiber and Allison Bain.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'ha'anashim asher alu imo amaru lo nuchal la'alot el ha'am ki hazak hu mimenu. Vayotziu dibat ha'aretz asher toru ota el b'nei Yisrael le'emor ha'aretz asher avarnu va lator ota eretz ochelet yoshvecha hi b'chol ha'am asher ra'inu v'tocha anshe midot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
honor of the fifth Aliyah, we call to the Torah the Bar Mitzvah.
Talmud, Zev ben David ve'Alison, Bar Mitzvah, La Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'sham ra'inu et hanfilim. B'nei anak min hanfilim. Vanhi be'enenu kahagavim. V'chein hayinu be'enehem. Vatisa kol ha'eda vayitnu et kolam vayivku ha'am b'layla hahu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
At this time, I'd like to invite once again Alan Fox and Molly Fox to help us dress the Torah, and ask all of you to please rise.
Vezot haTorah lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Vezot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Vezot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Vezot haTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Please be seated. So this is the part in our service where our Bar Mitzvah would typically read a passage from the prophetic material of the Bible. At Or Chadash, we participate in what is known as the Bar and Bat Mitzvah revolution of the Reform movement. And so rather than read those traditional readings, our B'nai Mitzvah students do something creative. And so Fox is going to explain a little bit about his Haftorah project as soon as we get it to work. Oh.
Fox.
Sit down first.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar bin v'im tovim v'ratza v'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'invi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Shelach Lecha ends with a special commandment from God to place fringes on our garments. Verses 37 to 40 state, "The Eternal One said to Moses as follows, Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of the Eternal and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Thus you shall be reminded to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God." The fringes referred to in these verses are the tassels, or tzitzit, on the corners of the talit. Wearing tzitzit is a mitzvah, or commandment from God. Each tzitzit has 4 strings folded in half for a total of 8 strings. 3 of the strings are the same length, and the 4th, the shamash, is longer. The shamash is used to wrap around all the other strings. Traditionally, the shamash was dyed blue with the blood of a shellfish called chilazon, a rare fish found in the Mediterranean Sea. Many scholars believe that the blue color reminds us of the sky, or God's domain. Tzitzit are made by tying 5 knots, separated by a series of 7, 8, 11, and 13 windings of the blue string. These knots and windings are meant to represent the Torah's 613 mitzvot, or commandments from God. Each letter in the Hebrew alphabet also has a numerical value. The numerical values of the 5 letters that comprise the Hebrew word tzitzit add up to 600. If you add in the 8 strings and 5 knots of each tassel, the total is 613. Tzitzit are important not because of what they look like, but because of what they symbolize. The Torah tells us that when we look at tzitzit, we should remember to observe the 613 mitzvot at all times. This protects us against the urges and impulses of the heart. It is considered a great mitzvah to wear tzitzit throughout the day. After reading about the significance of the tzitzit and how they are made, I decided to try making them myself. At first, it was difficult, but it eventually got easier. As I made more, I thought it would be fun to make enough to give out to the congregation today. My brother, mom, and Dad all helped make the tassels. I've attached the tzitzit to a bookmark that includes the section of Torah passage, as well as that I become a Bar Mitzvah on today's date. So now, when you look at these tzitzit, you will not only remember that you are to observe God's commandments, but also where you learned about it. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik bechol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'ltifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, u'mevarchim otach yitbarach shimcha, befi chol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
We now return to our prayer books as we return the Torah to the Ark. We turn to page 256, Please rise. Hallelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskab shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. Responsibly in the middle of 257. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it.
The whole Torah exists only to establish peace.
Its highest teaching is love and kindness.
What is hateful to you, do not do to any person.
That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it.
Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties.
But the study of Torah is equal to them all, because it leads to them all. Learn in order to do.
Fox, this afternoon you beautifully chanted from Shalach Lecha, and you taught us in your fabulous Bar Torah pretty much everything there is to say about it. So, got nothing else to say. Actually, maybe a little something. So, you and I, and Ken and Kathy, are wearing talitot, and we all have our tzitzit on the fringes of our talesi. And they're there, as you shared with us, to remind us of all of the religious obligations that we have, right? And you also shared with us one of the great messages of Shalach Lecha is that in order for us to be successful, we really have to have confidence in ourselves. It's almost like a biblical commandment. Take pride in your own ability to succeed. There's another mitzvah, another commandment that is in your Torah portion. It's sort of tucked away. It just passes by very quickly without too much commentary on it. And it says, because the Israelites are discussing settling in the land of Israel, conquering the land of Israel, moving into the land of Israel, and there's an awareness that when they succeed at that there will be people who live there who are not Israelites. And so it says in your Torah portion that the Israelite and the stranger who resides with you shall both have the same law. That you shall treat the stranger equal to yourselves. It's a very interesting message. The rabbis pick up on that. That message is picked up even later, that you shall love your neighbor as yourself, that we shall love the stranger because we were strangers in the land of Egypt. It's a very different message than this one of take pride in yourself. I think taking pride in yourself is incredibly important. That comes first. First, we have to feel good about ourselves. And once we feel good about ourselves, then when we look out into the world and we see others, we're not so worried about what they are going to do to us or take from us, because we can encourage them as well to be successful. And then we can afford them the same rights and privileges that we wish for ourselves. Fox, in this afternoon, as you become a Bar Mitzvah, you have wrapped yourself in the tzitzit to remind you to fulfill all these, and you have given everybody here their own little tzitzit, which I share with everybody what an amazing project this was. And you saw the video, so you saw that it wasn't so simple, and sometimes there was interference in the project. Right? Our hope and prayer for you this afternoon is that not only will you continue to see how you're not a grasshopper, that you can succeed, but also that when you look out and you encounter all the different kinds of people that you will in this world, that you will wish for them the same rights and privileges that you would wish for yourself. And knowing you, as I do, an outstanding young man, that I have no doubt that you will continue to fulfill that role, that activity, that promise. And with that, I invite Ken or Kathy to join me in blessing May God bless you and watch over you. May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you always. May God's countenance be lifted upon you, and may your journey through life, now as a Bar Mitzvah, be filled with the most precious gift of all, the gift of peace. Amen. Please be seated. Fox, we have several presentations for you this afternoon. The first of them is a certificate of Bar Mitzvah signed by you and your parents and leaders in our community. And so at this time, I'm going to ask you to read a section of that certificate.
In becoming a Bar Mitzvah, I have accepted the privileges and responsibilities of being a Jew. Lifelong Torah study and the keeping of mitzvot, Shabbat, holy day and life cycle observances, participation in the life of the synagogue, the Jewish community, and Israel, dedication to Tikkun Olam, and the perfection of our worlds.
And once again, we wish you Mazel Tov. I'll show it to everybody real quick. So that's a gift for you. And now, it is my pleasure to invite up to the bima a member of our Board of Trustees, Renee Trambert, who has some additional gifts she wishes to present to you.
Fox, you're a very impressive young man. A hearty congratulations and mazel tov to your parents, Allison and David, and your wonderful grandparents on both sides of the family, your sister Lily and Bowie, your big brother. You read your Torah portion, Shalach Lecha, beautifully, as it describes the faith and confidence that the Israelites needed as they prepared to enter the land of Canaan. You are entering the next stage of your life with faith and confidence as you take on the responsibilities of becoming an adult member of our congregation. I commend you on your Bar Mitzvah project to help prepare and host dinners for homeless families through the Interfaith Hospitality Network. On behalf of the board, we would like to share your special day by giving you some wonderful gifts. First, a gift certificate presented to you in honor of your Bar Mitzvah from Nifty. It's a gift certificate to go to Israel with Nifty. So I hope you have a wonderful trip. And also, this is a certificate that entitles you to a 1-year membership to the JCC in Bridgewater. So congratulations. Let me give you a hug. And most importantly, a Kiddush cup from the board and the congregation of Or Chadash. Okay, congratulations, kid.
Fox, I have a gift for you as well. It's a mezuzah for your room, so it is from Jerusalem. It's not as big as that bunch of grapes that we saw. And you should go up to Fox during the celebration and ask him just how big that bunch of grapes that was it this big? Was it this big? Bigger, right? He'll tell you. Okay. All right. At this time, I would like to invite Fox's parents up to the bima who have some words that they would like to share.
My wonderful son, Fox, your mom and I are so proud of you for all that you've achieved and the work that you've put in to becoming a bar mitzvah. How can it be that you will soon turn 13 and are now a bar mitzvah? It seems like just yesterday when we brought you home from the hospital and it rained so hard that day and night that the power went out and our basement flooded and Uncle Alan came over with his wet dry vac and helped us. From the day that you were born, you have largely been content to blend into the background. You don't shy away from the spotlight, but you don't seek it either. And though you do not often volunteer them, when people ask you for your thoughts and opinions, they are often greeted with your unique and honest view of the world. I'm sure that many here have already heard the story, but since I'm up here and I got the mic, I'm going to tell it anyway. You were in first grade doing your math homework, and the question asked, how many times can you take away 3 from 21? And you answered, infinite. Your mom and I looked at each other and smiled, beaming inside with pride. Despite the fact that you were meant to answer 7, you were already thinking outside the box. We praised you for not only knowing the word infinite, but for knowing that numbers don't stop at 0, and you could keep subtracting until you reach negative infinity. That's when you replied, that's not why I said infinite. Why then, we asked. You replied, the question is how many times can I take away 3 from 21? I can take 3 away from 21 as many times as you want. 21 minus 3 is 18. 21 minus 3 is 18. 21 minus 3 is 18. Now, if you ask that question to 100 people, much less first graders, there probably isn't another person who would answer the question that way. But your answer was correct. Unique, unusual, and definitely unexpected, but correct. This was when we realized that you don't think outside the box, you think outside the outside box. And more importantly, you were comfortable and confident in that role. It's that unique perspective that makes you so great and special, that drives your creativity and your fantastic sense of humor. It's what makes you do your math homework in random order, and develop the split-finger knuckleball, and recognize that if you had worn that green shirt, your body would be invisible in front of the green screen that'll be in the reception room. And the exciting and maybe a little scary thing is that we think we've only caught a glimpse of your creativity and the greatness that you can achieve. Your mom and I have always believed that you have something very special and unique to share with the world. We're really not sure what it'll be, but I know that we're excited to see it. What's interesting is that the very thing that you discussed in your Devar Torah is what you need to tap into to really achieve that greatness. Faith and confidence in your abilities. It's been fascinating watching you grow up, both careful and carefree. Your personality and demeanor often belie your inner strength and confidence. You're not a trial and error type of kid. You've always learned by watching, listening, and observing. It's like you have some internal switch that turns on when you believe you're ready to meet a challenge or take on something new, like riding a bike, learning to swim, or playing the saxophone. It seems like 1 second you are cautious and reserved, and maybe even overly so, and the next second you've dived in, perfected the task, and left us scratching our heads in wonder. We haven't figured out yet what makes you flip that switch, but I know that when you do, great things happen. So our first wish for you is that you keep flipping that switch on and continue to have faith and confidence in yourself. We hope that you build upon becoming a Bar Mitzvah and know, as you have described to us, that you can accomplish anything and meet any challenge when you work hard and put your mind to it. Our second wish for you is that you be willing to show people what you are capable of and make them understand how kind and pure you are, and that you are and will continue to be a great son, a great brother, a great friend, a great teammate, and a great student. Someone in whom others can place their faith and trust. I sometimes think that this may be complicated for you, not because you don't know right from wrong. In fact, you have a very strong moral compass, but that you may misinterpret what others say, and that others, including mom and dad, will similarly misunderstand what you say. There's a lot to be said for being your own man, but there's also great value in listening and really trying to understand and appreciate other people's views and perspectives. Trying to understand how other people think and how they will view what you say and do will make it easier for you to show them how wonderful you are. I know I worked hard to improve the way I communicate with you so that you understand me, for instance, when I ask you how many times 3 could be subtracted from 21 before reaching 0. I believe that because of you, I've become a better parent, a better coach, and a better teacher. Finally, while faith in yourself is critical for success, we also need to have faith in others. We need to trust that some people, our friends, our family, teachers, coaches, and our leaders, are thinking about our best interests as well as theirs, and sometimes maybe instead of theirs. But we know that we cannot give that faith blindly and unequivocally. Our faith can be gained and it can be lost, and we need to be able to recognize who has earned our trust and who has not. Indeed, Fox, you told us how in Shalach Leha, 10 of the 12 tribe leaders that were sent by God to scout the land of Canaan do not believe that they could conquer the land. With slanderous stories, these tribe leaders easily convinced the Jews to question Joshua and Caleb and to lose their faith in God, Moses, and themselves, despite everything that God had done to lead them out of Egypt. I can just hear one of these leaders saying, "Believe me, I know more about miracles than God and Moses, and I don't think Moses is really Jewish. Did you ever see his birth certificate? Let's go back to Egypt and I'll negotiate a deal with Pharaoh and it'll be great." Of course, because of their lack of faith, the Jews were forced to wander for 40 years and die before they reached the land of Canaan. Placing our trust and faith in the wrong people can be very painful, yet we cannot also ask for everyone to prove that they are worthy before you give them your trust, or that when you do, even the slightest mistake or slip-up should be grounds for you to remove that trust and that faith. We probably all know people who are always looking for a reason to distrust others, and in my opinion, it's a terrible and lonely way to go through life. It will be up to you to determine who are your real friends that truly care about you and share your core beliefs and accept their faults just as they must accept yours. I think that some of your experiences have already made this clear, and I'm very proud of your willingness to stand up for yourself and what you believe in, even when the costs are high. So our final wish for you is to surround yourself with people who love you, who care for you, and who appreciate you for who you are. People who will reciprocate your kindness, and people who support you and will push you to succeed. And we hope that you are willing to place your faith and trust in these people. When I look around the room today, I know we are off to a pretty good start. And of course, you should never question that your mom and I love and support you. We will always be there to cheer you on, push you when you need to be pushed, and lift you up when you need our help. We love you, we trust you, and we are so very, very proud of you and the young man that you have become. We cannot wait to see more of Fox Unleashed, and the rest of the world better look out. Enjoy your special day, and congratulations, Mom.
I would first like to thank all my friends and family for coming to celebrate this joyous occasion with me. Some have traveled thousands of miles to be here, and it means a lot to me that you are here. I would like to thank Rabbi Foreman for helping me throughout the days leading up to my Bar Mitzvah, for helping me understand my Torah portion, for helping me write my Devar Torah, and for the many interesting conversations. I'd like to thank Cantor Kathy for helping me learn all of the prayers during the ceremony, and helping me to learn how to read and chant my Torah portion. I would also like to thank Betsy for her instruction and support over the years, and everything she does for the religious school and temple, and for making delicious cookies that are safe for me and my brother. I want to thank the Board of Trustees for the Kiddush Cup and for the partial scholarship to Israel, and I'd like to thank the JCC of Bridgewater for the membership. I I want to thank all of my past Hebrew school teachers for helping me learn Hebrew over the last few years. I want to thank my family for all of their support, especially my brother, Bowie, and sister, Lily. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents for everything they've done for me over the past 13 years, especially all the help they've given me in preparing for this day.
We now return to our prayer books as we conclude our service. We turn to page 282, the middle of 282. Please rise. Together on the top of 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with joy, wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. On this Shabbat, we especially remember members of Fox's family now gone from life. Donald and Melina Bain, Herbert and Alice Skelly, Nathan and Francis Schreiber, Morris and Betty Fox, Olin and Lois Oliver, Allison Enzian Bain, Carol Schreiber, and Claire Weiler. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for blessing. We now join together on the top of 294 as we recite the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmeid kudusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. For the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. When we welcome Shabbat on Friday evening, we do so with three symbols: with the lighting of the Shabbat candles with fire, with the blessing over wine, the sweetness of wine, and with the blessing over challah. And when we conclude Shabbat at the end of the day on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, we also conclude Shabbat with three symbols. Also with fire. Fire is our symbol of creativity, and so we light fire. On Shabbat, we light 2 candles for Havdalah, and the Hebrew word Havdalah means separation, and we are separating the Sabbath from the return to the ordinary week. We have a braided candle that has many wicks. Can I tell a story about you? So at Or Hadash, we have 2 Havdalah candles. He said I could tell. Okay. So this one has 8 wicks. We have a Havdalah candle that has 16 or so wicks in it, and it has a 12-foot flame. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Okay. Unless you don't like fire. So we have a different Havdalah candle, and we're going to let Bowie take responsibility for the candle tonight. Give me one sec. If you've never seen a 16-flame candle picked up and tried to turn it upside down and put it out, you might need a fire marshal with you. So it's okay. So our second symbol is also wine, and wine is again represents the sweetness of life, the sweetness of Shabbat. And then our third symbol is a spice box. And the rabbis of the 16th century who created this ceremony of Havdalah believed that the time of messianic peace would come during Shabbat. And so we know all too well that we live in a world that is far from that. And so to help us as we segue back into the part of the week where we engage ourselves in tikkun olam, trying to repair the world, to lift up our spirits, we have some fragrant spices. We don't know what the 16th century Kabbalists were sniffing, but we have cinnamon and clove, and we're going to pass this around the whole sanctuary so everybody can get a little scent of the clove. And to help us with our Havdalah ceremony, we are going to invite Bowie and Lily up to the bima, and all of their cousins, and Fox's religious school classmates as well. And you're
Mom, can you take this? I'm about to sweat all my life out. Thank you.
You look like you're gonna die.
I think I'm having heat stroke.
I think you are too. You got your water. Go drink your water.
Wait, hold on. Ready? Thank you.
It was awesome.
Nico, was I good?
Great. You were
He
so
smiled.